Good afternoon, State Fair Community College public. In today's COVID-19 update, Keith Acuff, hi Keith, who is our Vice President of Finance and Administration, joins me to discuss the pandemic impact on our budget. This afternoon, Governor Parson announced $176 million in spending restrictions for this current fiscal year, with a major portion of that coming from higher education. Keith, not good news necessarily, but it would be helpful for you to discuss the financial impact of this whole pandemic on our budgets.
Thanks, Dr. Anderson, and what a day to have the finance guy on it. Today we learned that we get $500,000 cut from the state fair budget for the remainder of the year.
Well, lucky you.
Yeah, lucky me. But you know, it wasn't unexpected. We had informed the board just this past week in our board meeting that we expected the cut. Because the signs all pointing to it, and that's what budgeting is about, is reading the signs, and it's about, budgeting comes down to what do we know, what do we expect because of what we know, and then what do we do with the what ifs, how do we plan for that, and so we had some thought this was coming, so we informed everybody that it would happen. As I look forward to next year, and really this is about next year, we're strong this year, we'll adjust to this. But next year, we've got to prepare a budget that gives us the right roadmap. Budgets are roadmaps anyway. They tell you how to get to where you want to go. It just so happens that this year we get to do our road trip in the winter in Alaska on the Iditarod Trail. And I think going up to where that lady from Life Below Zero, if any of you watch that on Discovery Channel, lives. So it'll be fun. So let's look at where we're going. We didn't expect this when March began. We expected to have a slight decline in enrollment next fall. We expected that our funding for the state might be flat. We even hoped we might get a little extra money, but that's not going to happen. So let's talk about what is going to happen and what we're going to do about it. We're really starting over with the budget right now. With everything going on, think about what's happening in Missouri right now. There's no opening day for the Cardinals. There's no opening day for the Royals. Bass Pro Shop's closed. Silver Dollar City's closed. There's no shopping going on in the plaza. There's literally virtually no revenue coming into the state right now.
Many bars and restaurants are closed.
And the bars and restaurants are closed. That's right. So that's even when Budweiser's not being sold in St. Louis, there's not a lot of money coming into the state. So we've got to plan for that accordingly. We've got to expect that our enrollment will go down. We've got to expect that actually our enrollment will be down and that our funding will actually go down. So how do we do that? What do we do because of that? Well, our budget doesn't have a lot of excess in it, doesn't have a lot of fluff. But what it really means is that every dollar we spend next year has to be looked at and scrutinized and asked, is this dollar being spent to go towards our single primary mission at State Fair Community College, which is to support our faculty and supporting our students to be successful in what they do. If it's something that doesn't directly do that, it doesn't mean we don't need to spend it. It means we may need to wait till another time to spend that. The dollar's going to be precious next year, and we need to keep that in mind. At the same time, there's some things happening out there that could mitigate the impact of what's happening with the budget cuts, mitigate the impact of a further decline in enrollment, which, by the way, probably will happen. Our enrollment will probably be down more than we're expecting. They passed the CARES Act last Friday, a $2 trillion budget, of which they allocated approximately $17 billion for higher education. Now, what we don't know is how that's fully going to affect us, but what if, and we talk about what ifs. What if the CARES Act actually provides us enough money to replace what we lost? What if it provides aid to students to come to school? What if in a recession, we actually get more people coming here? We know that people are always going to want, highly skilled workers. We know they're going to want, strong, smart students. We know that the folks out here listening, all of you, the faculty, the staff, you're resilient. Our communities are strong and supportive. We know we're going to get through that. So I don't go into this with trepidation. I go into this knowing that I've got to prepare a number of different scenarios with different levels of money and different levels of spending, so that we can adapt as we go along and make the path that's right. It's going to be very deliberate. It's going to be very intricate. I use the word, I've got to get intimate with the numbers, and I will. I'll know them. So when it comes down to it, it's not a fearful thing. It's a thing of just, as planning appropriately and doing what's prudent and taking advantage of the strong financial position we're in. I mentioned the first of this is a lot like, a path in the winter in Alaska. Well, that winter is going to pass. And, we've got a very intrepid group of folks out there, and the intrepid after winter are going to remain strong. And as any coyote out there knows, it's hard to stop a road runner. So I think we'll be fine coming through this, but we're going to need everybody's help. It's not going to be easy, but we're going to do it right. And we're going to make sure that we come out of this absolutely strong as we can possibly be. So I appreciate everybody's help, and you'll be hearing from me. Thanks.
Thank you, Keith, and we hope everyone listening to this stays well. Thank you. We will get through this together.